No! Unmute! Wait, they can hear me on stream? What the fuck? You didn't even tell me? What if I started divulging like my deepest secrets?
Alright, I'm here. Oh. Alright, here we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Can't hear Maris though? I think that's by intention. He's just a little, self-conscious.
Being a little...
How many cons do I have? I only have 3, damn.
Alright, well, hello. Sorry, I'm trying to eat, and this is, poorly planned, once again on my part. Weird how that always happens. Anyway, I'm Maris, my co-caster is Aikato, and, yeah, this is the LAS Premade quarterfinal between Return of the Middlesticks, Pain and Panic, and Mint Caramel. You say caramel or caramel?
Is it caramel or caramel? I say caramel.
You say caramel? Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled, so that's probably technically correct, but fuck it. Anyway, they're already into draft because they were ready for this best of 5, and I wasn't. So you can see there's some picks. Pain and Panic have Set, Thresh, and Warwick, and Mint, meanwhile, have gone with the Camille, the Nocturne, and the Morgana.
Those are indeed the picks that they've gone with. Did they have to give up a ban because they used the sub?
Yes,
Is that what's happening?
that's correct. Yeah, they have a emergency sub support, I believe.
Okay.
So,
first thing I want to point out is Misfortune we saw last week just kind of hose everyone over and over and over. The champ seems kind of okay. This time around, neither team wanted to select her in the first 6 picks, so she drops down and ends up getting banned in second rotation, which is just a little bit surprising, I think.
Yeah, definitely agree. There's some other interesting bans, but it's hard to really quantify how interesting bans and picks are in a gold game, as we see the Lux locked in for Pain and Panic.
Would you say that is a case in point right there?
Yeah, I don't know how it fares into the Galio. That doesn't feel like a great Lux matchup.
I mean, Galio probably literally can never kill you until he gets to ride a Nocturne into your back line. But, up until that point, you're probably, like, fine. But I think you just get, like, hard shoved constantly, right? Like, you can't really match his push. You can't kill him. You can't match his skirmishing in the early game. Not a huge fan of the selection in general.
Yeah, but Tristana going to be the final lock-in for Pain and Panic. Yeah, that's a team composition that they have acquired for themselves. It's a lot of comfort picks, so that's good to see. And Mint deciding on likely an ADC. And it'll be the Samira.
Okay, so a whole lot of circles going on here, right? You have the Camille Galio combo, you have the Nocturne Galio combo, Morgana makes a circle, Samir makes a circle. We see what the idea behind the Mint composition is. They're looking for some picks with their semi-globals, they're looking to lock people down and then get some big ultimates off. Whereas Rodham, a little bit more single target, I think, in their pick selections. With Warwick, with Thresh, with Set, they're kind of only targeting one person, even though Set, drops you into 10 people. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, the story, I suppose, of like, big AoE options versus Warwick and Thresh, right?
Yeah, feels like a lot relying on the playmaking potential of those two champions, which is to say, like, Matsuro on Thresh, that feels like a pretty good pick. But Gid, traditionally shines on the Warwick pick, and we'll see if he's got that magic tonight. Again, best of 5, so we've got a a long night ahead of us, probably, as we transition into our second draft phase of the
Yeah, it should be pretty fun here. So here's my question. They're mint. Why is their icon? I don't like their icon. Is that supposed to be like a mint leaf? And if so, why is it brown? I get that's mint caramel, but what's
So
I don't get the connection.
it's brown for caramel.
Uh-huh.
Their different teams have different colored mint logos. The original
Okay.
one's just like green.
But it doesn't really like look like a mint leaf, right?
No, it also doesn't like. There's nothing tricky. There's no like MINT hidden in it or anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I just don't get it. You know.
It looks kind of like a mountain more than anything, like coming out of a shield. Like
Uh-huh. I was thinking shield, yeah. You know, shield with like a sun glare on it maybe. Um Maybe it's an edgy anime boy with, you know, really spiky hair. It's just his head. And you know, he has like the scar coming over his eye. That could be it. Or maybe it's just different colored hair, you know. That's a very anime thing too.
Yeah, I mean brown, a very traditional anime protagonist hair color.
Yeah, hair color.
Is that a weed?
Do they have brown weeds now? That's crazy. Come so far.
That's it. Calling the cops. We need a prediction. Do you have anything jumping out at you?
Ooh, prediction. Well, I feel like, you know, Samira is like a really big person in this game. You know, it could be like, does she get 8 or more kills? We could do like Samira versus Tristana. We could do Set versus Camille. We could do I don't know. This is difficult.
So again, we've talked about this a lot of times before.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I don't
okay,
like
okay.
having them
Fine.
on opposite
No, I
teams
get you, I
because that's
get you.
basically just
Yeah,
predict
yeah.
the winner, right?
Okay, okay. So we could do Tristana versus Set plus Lux if you wanted. In terms of number of kills. We could do amount of CS. We could do like CS of Tristana versus Samira at like 20 minutes. I don't know.
Let's do.
You hate all my ideas. I don't know why you ask for my ideas every time.
Because it fills time while I'm actually thinking of what I want to do.
Yeah. It's a little hurtful, I'm gonna be honest.
Alright, we'll do. I don't like that. Never mind.
Okay.
Fuck.
What about biggest Galio taunt? How many people is Galio gonna taunt in one taunt? You know, 3, 4, 5?
Okay. I've got it.
We could do like amount of times Nocturne has ulted by 14 minutes.
Alright. Give me the pair that's going to have the most CS at the end of the game. Alright. Warwick plus Tristana or Set plus Lux?
Warwick plus Tristana or Set plus Lux. I mean, what's your thinking on this? Where's your money going?
My money.
Yeah, your money. You got to put money on the line here.
So, gut right would be Set plus Lux, like 2 solo lane farms compared to jungle plus AD carry, right?
Uh-huh.
But in terms of like wave clear and ease of CS, which is an important thing in Gold League.
Uh-huh.
Tristana has that late game, especially.
I agree.
So
I agree.
as the game goes on longer, I would favor Tristana plus Warwick, even though I think that Gid is traditionally pretty low farm.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think, within this team composition, a lot of times Gid, especially on like Warwick and Vi, doesn't get a ton of farm personally.
but would be buoyed by Tristana, who should theoretically get the most farm, highest percentage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I would probably go Lux plus Set, but I can see an argument for either. I think as the game goes longer, it'd be Tristana Warwick, but yeah. So I think you're more betting on game length rather than who you think is actually going to have the better right-click ability.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually PayPaling Dream right now just to make sure that he doesn't farm that much. That way I get my points. Holy shit, wait, who put on all those points? I put in 1,500 and then somebody put in like 13,000. That was kind of wild. Okay, Lane came in. He's flexing a little bit.
Do Twitch staff get extra stream points? Are you
Well, he is a subscriber, which means he gets the 1.25x, right? Or is it 1.5x? I don't know. He had 26k, so he spent half of it right there. He's wilding.
Yeah, I have Infinity, which is pretty neat.
See, I made the mistake
bet,
of
but
I made the mistake of betting before Lane. I have 57k to flex with, but we're on the same side now, so there's just no point.
Sorry, I'm trying to eat the rest of my pizza.
I'm sorry, I can fill.
No, we're good. I finished the slice. I have 2 left.
Hog?
The high quality Red Baron pizza. If they wanted to sponsor the stream, I'd appreciate that.
The Red Baron pizza's kind of fire, not gonna lie.
True. And it's like relatively cheap. It's like good tasting economy pizza. I'm already doing an ad for them. They haven't even offered a sponsor. Sponso? Is Rodham casting tomorrow night too? I am, as long as the Legend stream doesn't randomly decide that they're going to cast your game. I'm pretty sure Dream is going to be the co-caster tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's right. So,
are you just kicking me off like this? I didn't realize this is how I was going to find out. I was getting replaced. Wow. You're supposed to laugh. It was kind of like a joke.
I was actually drinking at the time, so it didn't work out. So you can assume that I did. I'm fixing some logos real quick. Also still playing music, because I was very well prepared for this stream today.
You're doing a great job. I want you to know that.
Yeah. Just play with the champ select music the whole time. Anyway, welcome to Summoner's Rift for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. I think I have everything set up the way that I normally do at this point. So, yeah.
Bottom side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars, we have Return of the Middle Sticks with Scrambles in the top lane on the set. Gid Shadeslayer with the Warwick in the jungle. Poro Flambe playing Lux in the mid lane. And then Dream Unforgiven as well as Monster 05 on the Tristana Thresh bottom lane.
And on the other side of the rift, wearing the red health bars are Mint Caramel in the top lane. Peaklay on the Camille. Karthik At 2 in the jungle playing Nocturne. Beanie in the mid lane playing Galio. And Jalix and Altro in the bottom lane playing Samira and Morgana.
Do you think it's Jalix or maybe it's like Halix? It's like a soft J. It could be Jalex?
I was debating Jalix personally, but I thought that Jalix was funnier.
Because it's like Alex,
actually
but
Jalix.
with a letter.
I don't like that. Yeah.
I don't like your name. A little bit late to the buff spawning there for Gid, but it got leashed by the bottom lane, so gonna not end up mattering too much. Both of the junglers here, starting at the red buffs, we'll see which way they end up pathing. Looks like they're both going for a full clear, so that means that Gid will be ending his clear near the top lane. You know, the double melee lane up here is oftentimes a pretty good lane to path towards, whereas Karthik just looking to farm up, just looking to hit 6, maybe deciding that's a little bit safer if he just paths away from the lane with a little bit more action and just tries to pick up a crab for himself.
Yeah, and we didn't spend a huge amount of time actually talking about team compositions, like a little bit, but uh, Mint with some pretty insane combos. They have the Camille Galio, they have the Nocturne Galio, they have Samira Camille is actually really nuts. There's a lot of ways to make one person particularly miserable in fights.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the case. And, you know, there's I think that there's an onus on the Mint team to what the fuck was that?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I've sped up.
Nothing.
Alive? Okay.
No, there was just a tactical sweep that, you know, was tactically thrown in, you know, an interesting direction. Is
Oh,
all.
I
Um,
must have spaced it. I'm sorry. I'm at 308, 309.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
right with you. Oh,
The
Brambles?
flash and the counter flash in the top lane is Peakley able to escape without getting punched by Scrambles and finished off. And right now, ROTM has pretty strong lane priority in all three lanes, at least early on, which is going to allow Warwick to go ahead and run into this crab. And they're going to look for a play onto Karthik, the flash play from Matsuro. The hook a little bit wide, but the spell shield used. He smites for a little bit of healing. The flash in from Gid is going to secure first blood. And Scrambles gets the solo kill in the top lane. 2-0 early on for Return of the Middle Stakes.
Across the board, just everything going in their favor. Off of the, like you had mentioned, the lane priority here. Top lane, Scrambles just has Peakley underneath the tower, has been beaten up on him. Peakley decided not to recall or teleport and ends up getting punished for it. And then there in the bottom lane, pressure as well with this Tristana lane. Lets Matsuro 5 just sort of walk out of lane and get the collapse onto Karthik, and that's a pretty massive start for our team, especially since Gid kind of is taking a really inefficient route here, right? Like if we take a look at his CS, he cleared the 3 camps in his quadrant and then waited for that crab to spawn in the bottom side. So being able to pick up that kill, you know, with how much time was spent invested in it is pretty massive here for the RTM squad.
Yeah, something that came into play during that, wanted to point out because it's going to make you specifically mad. Healing reduced on smiting jungle camps uh, the last patch, and we saw that heal not be as thick for Karthik there in that jungle skirmish.
Damn, feels bad, man. You hate to see
Yeah,
it. Scrambles,
imagine them not
speed
changing
mass.
jungle.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I am divorced from the issue. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, they can change it as much as they want. I don't play the game anymore.
Now,
Oh,
if they nerf Shellfolk though,
if they nerf Shellfolk, then then I'll be very sad.
that binding
Hmm.
was a little strange. Um,
It looked a little bit funny. It's weird because Tristana's hitbox doesn't move right away when she starts her jump animation. So it sometimes makes it look a little bit weird. But Scrambles, like every time he walks up, every time he has his cooldowns, he just smacks Peakley around. He's only getting like 100 or 150 health each time in terms of like the net gain, but it's still pretty massive. It's gonna end up adding up, and the CS lead is already pretty big. 8 CS. The
mhm.
wave's basically even, and this XP lead though. Scrambles is flexing here in the top lane.
Yeah, and you can see Peakley was already a little bit worried about the matchup taking the grasp of the Undying, and Scrambles has done a good job so far in the game to, kind of make this counter. I guess not a counter pick, but I don't know where I'm going with it. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm really fried. My apologies already to the cast. It's only going to get worse from here. Anyway,
I,
it's going to open up a dragon
it's just
for Karthik and Mint, and yeah,
which is pretty good for Karthik, especially considering that he was killed so early in the jungle. Being able to get back out there, pick up some of his camps, and still get the tempo to actually end up taking down a dragon is pretty massive here. Especially against a champion like Warwick that so often just sneaks an early dragon. Thresh, though, is top lane. Matsuro has been out of lane for a little while. We saw Dream get sort of punished for it a little bit earlier, getting kind of zoned off of this wave and is now looking at a pretty massive CS deficit. And Matsuro, unfortunately, with the timing on this roam, hasn't been able to get that much. Scrambles has had that top lane shoved in this entire time, and with his jungler in the base, there's not a whole lot for Thresh to do.
Yeah, and Dream can't even really walk up to this minion wave. He's falling pretty far off tempo for the CS. Like, he'll be able to collect some of this under tower, don't get me wrong, but a 20 CS deficit on the Tristana, while kind of expected in lane phase, not exactly what you want to see.
The other issue is that whenever you leave Tristana alone, Tristana can't help but push the wave. So there's no freezing it. There's no trying to play safe. If you leave her alone and she has to hit the wave at all, it's going to shove out. She's going to be in a dangerous position. And Gid has been putting a lot of time
Oh,
here.
they're going to
Ooh.
lantern him in, but unfortunately the binding lane's immediately onto him. Hook going to land onto Jalix, but the black shield there from Altro. They get the Morgana flash, but that's all that they're going to be able to grab from that gank attempt.
Yeah, and that was actually really well played by Ultro. Got the instant binding off to sort of stop the initial engage, and then the good timing on the Black Shield means that Jalex is able to just walk away from the hook. And that was, again, a lot of time invested by Gid here into trying to make something happen. Doesn't get rewarded this time around. Ooh.
Yeah, Karthik going to get spotted out on the Rift Herald, which means that he's got to leave it.
Yeah. Ends up
Sometimes you
getting
start sentences and you just don't know where they're going, and then you realize that they're not going anywhere good, so you just kind of, you audible.
I think he nailed it. He, in fact, had to get off of the Rift Herald, which is pretty good here for ROTM, considering that, Gid hasn't been able to accomplish that much so far this game. So being able to slow down Karthik is pretty good here, just sort of evening it up. Um,
Yeah, roam again from Matsuro, looking for a little hook onto Beanie, but he's able to get out with the Justice Punch. Now Scrambles is in trouble with Karthik already up here. Level 6 doesn't even need to invest the ultimate. A lot of shielding, a lot of damage coming out from Scrambles. He's going to ult away to try to run away, and the ult finally invested from Karthik. Starting to auto him down, but Scrambles is still kind of okay
okay.
underneath the tower. Oh, just the flash to get Karthik back away, but they do get the kill in the top lane in exchange for the Camille and Nocturne ultimates. So successful ult number 1 for Karthik. You like to see that if you're the Nocturne. And Minter on the board.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight in that fight, really well played by the duo of Karthik and Peakley. They used the Hextech ultimatum to make sure that Scrambles wasn't able to ult away, and then towards the end of it is when Karthik ended up popping his spell shield, meaning that Scrambles wasn't able to just ult him straight over the wall. So pretty well played there to make sure that Scrambles isn't able to get away, and kill there on the first Nocturne ultimate is pretty massive. Wow, that was a
Yeah,
lot of damage coming out.
yeah, a little bit of damage there from Poro Flambe. He's got the final spark available, but probably not quite enough damage to be able to finish off the Galio, but it is going to force Beanie back to base. Meanwhile, Karthik and
Oh.
Peakley trying to take advantage of taking down Scrambles. They're on the Rift Herald, but Scrambles is going to spot them out. Now, knowing that they don't have any ults, the collapse is coming through, and Karthik has exactly 0 places to go. Gets pulled back in. Matsuro here just to try to get a little assist. Karthik trying to get away, but there's the hook from Matsuro, and Scrambles gets his second kill of the game. And Matsuro and Poroflambe might be able to go ahead and take down this Rift Herald as well. Yeah, they've got Gid rotating in, and that should be a Rift Herald for ROTM, assuming that they don't reset it, which is a very real possibility here in a second. Okay, they got
League aggro! Quit it, guys. It's a little bit scary there for a second, but yeah, Peakley and Karthik thought that they had the window to be able to start that up, but Scrambles run straight there, and then jungler number 2, the Moby Boot Thresh, is able to walk up there and make the play, and that's again pretty big here for ROTM. Sort of staunching the bleeding after what happened, just a minute ago. Now up 2,000 gold, up 2 kills, and are looking pretty good so far this game. This CS lead in the mid lane is kind of massive, like quietly massive.
yeah, 22 CS, nothing to sneeze at. He should be able to go back He's not quite going to have enough for his Ludens, so that'll unfortunately just be the Blasting Wand plus a couple of extra filler items. But, getting very close to that Ludens this early is really good to see. And there's a hook from
Oh,
Matsuro. Spots out the Nocturne trying to get in. Karthik uses his ultimate, but this second one not going to be successful as Gid gets his second kill of the game. And RTM looking toward the dragon.
and Karthik not able to get the spell shield off in time means he just kind of gets chain CC'd and brought down. Oh,
Oh, Ultra
Ultra
sniped. Got the scuttle. I don't think he'll be
got
able
the
to get the
scuttle
dragon,
it's
though.
worth. Well, I know with that kind of attitude.
True.
I think it is there at 75 for a second. I think that if Ultra wanted it, they could have had a pretty good shot at it. But get running down bot, probably going to look to use this Rift Herald and finish the first turret off.
Yeah, and with Dream already having pushed down this tower, uh, Tristana, notoriously good at sieging towers. One of the better characters in the game to do that. Getting that first tower down means that they might be able to open up some plays for Dream to roam around to mid to top lane and start really breaking through these structures early. Taunt in the mid lane, though, from Beanie. He's got a lot of damage all of a sudden on the Galio. Poor Flambe trying to trade back, not able to hit the light binding, though, so gonna kind of negate a lot of that trade back attempt there from Poro. But here comes Gid. The
Oh,
infinite dress doesn't quite land, but uh, nothing ventured, nothing gained there. He has to bow his flash to get out of there. And yeah, it's 4-1 for RTM, and they've got a 2,000 gold lead.
yeah, a couple flashes had to be expended there, but the big thing on that play was just Gid being able to get that bottom tier one. First turret of the game, of course, is worth quite a bit of extra gold, and all that's off of the play where Scrambles was able to collapse on Karthik and Piclay at that first Rift Herald. So pretty massive swing once you look at the full ramifications of it. Though Matsuro once again is just hovering around this top lane. He really does not want Piclay to have any chance at getting back into this lane, while
Yeah,
Dream is just sort of solo split pushing.
did
A
that?
little scary against Nocturne, right?
Yeah, did that rocket or the explosive shot actually hit Samira? That's unfortunate for him. But
Probably.
I just saw the
I know he
tower
got out
aggro
there.
on him. That's not ideal. And our team actually trying to decide on some lane assignments right now. Looks like Poro's going to head to bottom lane right now. But Beanie has his ultimate available. We haven't actually seen the Galio ultimate yet this game, uh, but potentially could look to gank his own lane in mid or set up something with Karthik or Piclay and bottom lane potential. Like, there's a lot of options right now. There's a lot of important cooldowns that are up for Mint, and our team have to be a little bit careful about how they play around all of it.
And for as much as we had spoken about just the synergy within a lot of the mint picks, they haven't gotten an opportunity to actually use them together yet, which feels like a mistake. It feels like a missed opportunity, especially with Tristana. Tristana's standing very far up. We know that she has the Thresh in her back pocket to lantern her, but it's just a little bit scary looking every time that she does walk all the way up there, against a Nocturne, against a Galio.
Yeah, the mid laners are actually going to meet here in the bottom river, which might be a little bit awkward for Poro Flambe, but getting some more vision control over that blue side jungle,
Yeah,
and
that's
there's the ultimate that's going to go on to Poro. He's really got nowhere to go, very overextended as he gets feared back in and taunted, and Karthik is going to take that kill.
That's one of the scary things about having Lux in a side lane is that she can't really rotate into your lanes to help out the main group very well at all because she could just get collapsed on instantly. You have no mobility. You don't really have reliable CC against something with a spell shield. And we see it there. Poor Flambe just gets collapsed on, instantly blown up. Third Nocturnal to the game, second kill with it, which is pretty good. Um, but still haven't gotten an opportunity to see the Galio. I'd like to see Camille and Galio just like run down mid and take advantage of this Tristana at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think Scrambles is the only one that's pretty undivable with that combo. Like, you could find Tristana, you could find Lux, if you find Thresh on his roam. There's a lot of opportunity for Mint, and I don't think we've seen them take full advantage of it.
Yeah. And because of that, I don't like Poro Flambe being in a side lane as this Lux. It feels like any time that Mint wants to, they can just start pressing R on her and she will die. There's not a lot to be done about it. Though Matsuro looking for Piclay gets the flash out. It's pretty massive there. Makes sure that Piclay's not allowed to push up ever again. because if he does, he can be hardcore punished.
Yeah, Ultro headed up there just to try to make it a 2v2 lane, but you know, uh, we we vibing. Still a 2,000 gold lead for ROTM. Dragon up in 30 seconds is going to be the next priority. A little bit of late recall here from both Dream and Matsuro if they're going to look to contest this. And already Beanie and Karthik there to set up some vision.
Oh, and another cancel on the recall means that Dream won't get a chance to be able to actually buy their item, their completed mythic, by the time this dragon fight starts. A missed binding?
Yeah, good dodge on the binding, we'll say, generously. Beanie headed in, looking for the taunt, and Dream just going to rocket jump away. Poro looking for the light binding, but not going to go for it. Matsuro,
Oh!
though, with the flash over the wall, knows that the wind wall is down. Fear comes in onto Jalix, but the Nocturne ult into the backline. Jalix still alive and well, as now he's abducted by Scrambles. In the middle of the fight, though, Gid is the first one to fall. Now everything collapsing. Light binding not quite able to connect there from Poro Flambe. The final spark doing a little bit of damage. Matsuro and Poro Flambe, the last two left. It's a double kill for Beanie, and Piclay swoops in to clean up the rest of the fight. So Mint come away with a 3-for-1 in their favor, and they'll be able to grab the dragon afterwards as well.
Yeah, and despite the pick from Matsuro 5, the team composition here from Mint is just so good at keeping Jalix alive for so long, and
Oh,
Scrambles in the
Scrambles!
1v2.
He gets the shutdown onto Beanie. I don't think he can really continue this fight, especially with Piclay still continuing to collapse on him. He's got the Cho'Gath ultimate ready to fire. There it is, but it just goes into the shield. Scrambles playing this fight so well, and he's able to retreat from it. So he goes in and does get the extra pick at the end, which helps, kind of staunch the bleeding of that fight. But the dragon in the end does go to Mint.
Yeah, and the whole fight, especially going to Mint there, once again, Jalex just was kept alive for so long with the Morgana, with the Galio ults. It just, our team wasn't able to actually damage on top of the Samira. And, it sort of means that they overcommitted, didn't have a whole lot going on, and just sort of lose the fight. And it's a pretty massive swing considering they were up quite a bit, almost 2,500 gold. Now we're looking at around 1,000, still in their favor, but losing that dragon there's pretty big. Dream having to expend the Buster Shot just to get a couple autos off on the turret isn't ideal. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jalix? Okay, he's got the black shield. He's got the shield bow pop as well, but that's a little bit of damage coming through. Poro is actually just chunking people.
Yeah, Poro just did 1,000,000,000 damage. Oh my god. That was not expected. It was definitely not expected. It's a very good thing that Jalex had that completed shield bow, because that black shield was going to be a little bit late. It feels like if he didn't have the shield bow, he absolutely would have died to that final spark.
Well, our team still continuing with a little bit of their pressure in mid lane. They've got three people hovered around, but Piclay is looking for that collapse. They have Beanie as well in their back pocket, but Dream is just
Oh
able to
my
take down
god.
Ultro. But Piclay now into the backline. The Hextech ultimatum is used, and he'll be able to take down the Tristana at the end. That kill does go to Beanie. Matsuro trying to kite back away, but he gets feared up and taken down. Beanie with his second kill of the fight. He's now 4-1 on the Galio. But Poro Flambe still not to be ignored, getting a little bit of damage back across. Gid has the Infinite Duress, looking for anybody that he can find, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to find a target this time. RTM does get the mid lane tower out of that, so the gold stays even. Well,
Yeah,
even
and
to where it was, it's still 1,000 gold. Yeah.
technically it's 2-for-1 because they were able to take out Ultra at the beginning of that fight, but that's the combo that we were highlighting. Camille ult and Nocturne ult both used on the same targets, sort of gave Galio a chance to get up and catch up to Tristana, and Tristana not able to do a lot with that many people on her face, so glad to see Mint, really taking advantage of that and punishing Poro Flambe and Dream for being so far up. Very reckless with their uh, pressuring of that turret.
Yeah.
Oh, and the synergy pink wards, Paul.
The other hard thing for our team is a lot of their kills right now are on Scrambles, who's been kind of on split push duty trying to deal with Piclay. Currently trying to chase him down in the top lane. Matsuro not going to be able to find a cheeky hook as Piclay has the hook shot away, but our
You're right.
team... Sorry.
That's going to be like a consistent issue for them. Is that Scrambles has to deal with Camille. You cannot leave Camille alone in a side lane for very long, especially since she has a completed Sheen item. She's picking up the Tiamat. She's going to be very difficult if you leave her alone in a side lane. She will absolutely take all of your turrets. And one issue we'd highlighted the Lux in the side lane being a potential issue. Now that she's just been sharing lane farm with Tristana for the last few
Oh,
minutes,
what
oh
is
my
that
god.
hook? All right, well, it's not going
Now
to
she's
result in
been
anything, but a nuts hook for Metsuro. Dream is just going to go on to Ultro with
um
Karthik in his back pocket. The Lux ultimate coming back through, but Karthik's still alive. He uses it just to dodge forward, but in comes the teleport from Beanie to try to clean up Matsuro, trying to fight for his friends, but he's eventually going to get taken down. Now the two big beef boys from ROTM are here trying to turn the fight. Scrambles and Gid trying to get in onto anybody they can. Jalix with a Inferno trigger doing a lot of damage. Gid not able to fight his way out of that one, and Scramble's forced to flee. Now with Piklay on him, has the Haymaker for the big trade of damage, but the Q comes through from Piklay. The dodge and the shutdown does finish off for Piklay, and Beanie senses his prey, flashes under the tower, and gets the solo kill onto Poro Flambe, and
oh
walks, doesn't. He trades himself.
yeah, ends up getting taken down, but all of that was off the back of a very optimistic leap forward from Dream Unforgiven, just sort of hopping straight into the bush, expecting that they'd be able to take down a member of Mint and be able to get back out, but unfortunately not. Just gets locked down and dies instantly, and the rest of our team decide to continue to commit
Oh,
even when they're behind. Oh,
Dream's still going forward.
uh,
Jalix has the spell shield and the ultimate, and again, Dream just biting off a little more than he can chew with these rocket jumps.
Yeah, that Samira spell shield is just pretty good in the 1v1. Stops Dream from getting the stacks on the explosive shot,
Yeah.
the big bomb that goes on their head. Um, so yeah, Dream once again jumping forward a little bit overconfident seems. Ooh, nice attempt by Flambe to try and steal that dragon, but that is third dragon going in favor of Mint. Every single fight in the last few minutes has been going their way, and now RTM is staring down a 1.2k gold deficit, as well as a 5 kill deficit. Um, which is feels weird because they're the ones who are constantly pushed up and trying to force these fights, right?
Mhm.
It's not like they're just laying down and getting rolled over. They're the ones who are forcing the fights, and it's just Mint that's waiting for them. It feels like to make mistakes and then taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it is also kind of what you would expect with these team comps. This is a huge mid-game, power spike for the Nocturne, for the
Oh my
Galio,
god.
even the Samira. Um, but the longer the game goes, the more the strength of the Tristan and Lux should be able to tell. You would hope. So we'll
Yeah, as long as
see
they
how that
don't fall
goes.
too far behind, right? It doesn't matter how much you scale if you end up falling too far behind in this mid game, then it's just going to be incredibly difficult to actually be able to be relevant as the game goes on, especially since they're still just sharing farm here in the mid lane. Poro Flamble and Dream Unforgiven have been for the last several minutes.
Yeah,
God, Piklay
yeah.
has
Piklay's
completed
starting
the
to.
2 items.
Yeah, the second item apparently is the point at which he starts winning the 1v1, and Scrambles has to use his ultimate to disengage from that fight. Matsuro trying to get these wards behind the Baron. Those are super annoying to get, but successfully
Yeah.
gets them all.
But we've seen it, a couple times here where Scrambles isn't able to get the shield off in time, just takes an incredible amount of damage from the Camille and isn't able to push damage back. Dream has a hair trigger with that ultimate. Is just very willing to throw it out for poke.
Yeah, you would think that he would want to save it just if Camille gets onto him, you can launch her back out of your ultimatum and potentially cancel that. That's basically the
Yeah.
only thing you can do against it, other than have a Zanya's. So,
Yeah, which unfortunately AP Tristana not the powerhouse that it once was, so Azanya's not really that great of an option for them.
it's still a good meme, but not like a really good meme. Not like an almost
Yeah.
reliable meme.
It's a good meme. It's not a good meme, you know? Hmm.
Wow. Um, both teams just kind of roaming around the map together, and that's not really giving any openings for these picks that we thought would be kind of game defining, as everybody kind of has decided that they want to clump up, just contest a little vision here and there, but overall a pretty quiet game for Gold League standards.
It feels like Mint is doing a better job of spreading the map out here. They're doing the 1-3-1. They're playing to their win conditions, just trying to pick up farm across the board and spread out middle sticks. But middle sticks isn't having any of it. They've been very much clumped around this mid lane for the past few minutes, and it feels like the game going, at least for the next few minutes without any action is actually favorable for Mint, just because they do have the inevitability of that Infernal Soul here in just, a minute 40. So if there's no fighting between now and then, if they're just as strong as possible going into that fight, then you have to imagine they would be pretty favored there. Scrambles, oh my god. Camille's the champion, huh?
Yeah, Camille is pretty strong, as it turns out, especially once you hit your 2 items.
Oh, this is not a 2v2. The ROTM wants. They don't know that Galio's here, but if Matsuro ends up committing to this, then they could be in a big heap of trouble.
Yeah, Beanie
Okay, they
walking
see
over a
the
ward
Galio.
right now, so they definitely see the Galio right now as he's clearing the ward, but they're still going to go for this anyway. Piklay in, has the hook shot away on the wall dive, he hits the extra
Uh-huh.
ultimatum, and they'll call in the Galio now. Matsuro trying to play the edge of this zone, but just can't. Scrambles, though, with a huge haymaker. Not quite enough damage, but the hook from Matsuro pulls Piklay into tower, and the shutdown does go to Scrambles.
Yeah, it felt like it was a mistake from ROTM. They committed to the play knowing that Galio could ult in, but just a bit of an overcommitment from the other side. Piklay got a little bit too feeling himself just a little bit too much. Tanks up a couple turret shots, gets pulled under tower by Matsuro 5, and ends up dropping. So that's kind of the pick that ROTM needed here. Peakley will have the teleport up to be able to contest this next dragon, but our team gets the priority. They get the vision down first, meaning that the onus is on Mint to actually go into them and try and contest this, which is going to be really difficult. Though there is oh no, that's not teleport. That's it's a zombie ward in the tribe rush, so they can't teleport to it. Not a great teleport position for Peakley here.
Ooh, Mint looks like they're going to try to trade Baron for it, but this dragon is rushed down very quickly by ROTM, and Gid doesn't use his smite, very importantly, as now Baron started up by Mint. In comes the Goon Squad from Pain and Panic, trying to find anything they can. No Galio ult available for Beanie is the only big cooldown that's really missing. Altro just trying to zone right now. They turn on to Scrambles. A lot of damage coming through on that Haymaker, but Karthik into the backline. He gets chunked, but he's got his stopwatch. The Hextech Ultimatum just locks up Scrambles, and they do finish it off, but they trade 1-for-1. Gid is into the back line, but so is Piklay on the other side.
Oh!
Jalix is in with the Inferno trigger, and he finds 2. But on the other side, Gid trying to scrap with Beanie. He can't quite 1v3, I don't think. He's really trying to get Beanie. Jumps for Altro, not able to find it as Jalix takes the kill. The Inferno trigger, the big turn point of that fight. And now Dream walks in. He's spotted on a ward, and Piklay's going to get onto him with the hook shot, and the Buster shot isn't quite enough. It's the ace for Mint Carmel, and they'll start up the Baron.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a mistake starting up the Baron. Our team knew that they were going to be on it, but Mint knew what they were doing the entire time they were looking for that turn. Piklay got a nice little flank around there through the blue buff, able to get a good stun off, a ton of damage onto Scrambles, and Scrambles fell quickly in that fight. And as one of the strongest members of ROTM, without that front line, it was just really difficult for them to actually be able to close out that fight. And a massive play from Jalex means that Mint is able to come out on top of the fight despite getting picked, despite losing that dragon right before it, and are now in a pretty commanding position. 3.3k in favor for them. They have 8 kills in favor as well, and the pressure. A really strong 1-3-1 potential here means that ROTM is going to have to do quite a bit to actually be able to withstand the push here.
Yeah. Mint kind of chilling with the first couple of seconds of their Baron buff, but Piklay knows the prize. He's on to the tower, the outer tower down in bottom lane now. This is an interesting little bush bait attempt from RTM as Dream walks forward. And now Altro and Karthik going to be spotted out on the bottom side, so yeah, the game continues as it has been. Piklay looking in, he's got the Baron buff to try to help turn this fight. The Haymaker doing a little bit of damage to help clear the wave, but nothing really happening for RTM as Piklay continues his slow ascent in on
Oh
bottom
my
lane. Oh,
god.
but the hook is going to land, and Altro is down. Matsuro unfortunately caught a little bit in no man's land here. The Galio being called in on top of Jalix as he'll fly in. Karthik looking for Gid will eventually be able to track him down at the end. Jalix on a rampage, 4-1 now on the Samira, and that was a fun little diversion. But back to bottom lane goes Piklay looking for that push.
Yeah, and a nice little
Oh,
pick there
the
from the
taunt
side
from
of
Beanie.
RTM.
Gonna
Oh!
catch out Poro Flambe, and Karthik finishes that one off. Meanwhile, Pikle looking for blood down in the bottom lane, and oh my god, that's so much damage. Beanie diving on forward. The hook not gonna land there from Matsuro into the stopwatch. The flight isn't quite there. Matsuro didn't want to step up for it, and so Mint able to basically get anything they want. They dive the mid tower, they get the mid tower. They're going to get the bottom tower, bottom lane kills, and everything coming up Mint here in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, being able to pick up the kill onto Poro Flambe was so huge. This Lux has been putting out so much damage, it's been threatening the carries of Mint, but the moment that she ends up going down, it's just carte blanche for Mint to just take whatever they want. They pick up that turret in the mid lane. They do also pick up that turret in the bottom lane, so a pretty productive Baron so far. There's not a ton of time left on it, so probably won't be able to get too much else. But pressure is going to be pretty massive, considering that once again we have this Infernal Soul up for grabs here in just 50 seconds. So probably going to be the next big fight here for both teams.
Yeah,
I think
Art.
with the way that both of these teams are built, getting the vision down is huge because they both have so much engage and have so much pick potential.
Yeah, Matsuro gonna hook blindly into the bush. He finds Karthik. Light Binding gonna land on him. That's a little
Uh,
chunk right before the fight. Poor Flambe's ult will be up
um,
relatively soon, but Gid looking for the initiation, not quite able to find anything. Scrambles on the backside, does a lot of damage to Jalix, but it's just not enough as the Samira is staying alive. Guardian Angel popped on the top side. Karthik able to revive. Hook into the bush is going to land onto Karthik, but he's got the spell shield on. And so, oh, another hook over, or a binding over the wall onto Pikle. Gid looking for the flank. He's in. He just assassinates Karthik on the backside, but trades his life as Jalix does finish him off. It's 2-for-1 on that scrap, and
this means
Mint
no
still looking for
junglers.
this. Beanie diving in, able to find Matsuro. Dream and Poro trying to focus down on the Galio, but
Oh!
Pikle flies in and just eliminates Dream from the fight. And now Jalix dashing forward, picks up the double kill. 3 total for him on that fight, and that'll be the Infernal Soul for Mint Caramel.
No smite though means that this is a little bit scary. Lux does a lot of damage. I really like what Jalex is doing. He's running just a linebacker here, making sure that Poro Flambe is not able to actually get near the
Oh,
pit.
40?
Oh!
Oh!
Oh
All
my
right.
god. Just kidding. He let him 50-50 it anyway. Holy shit. Uh, but yeah, it felt like a last-ditch effort there from the side of ROTM. They hard committed to that fight, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to find the CC, find the burst that they needed to be able to actually come out on top. Gid started out with the ult that just wasn't quite able to find home, and even the scrambles getting into the back line did quite a bit of damage to Jalex, but no one else took much of it, and it was just not an ideal fight there for ROTM. Really feeling this gold lead right now.
Yeah. A lot of options available to Mint, and you feel the window closing for ROTM. Pikle even gonna... Oh, nope, Gid got it somehow. He has the smite.
My OP.
Yeah, true.
True. But this Baron is going to be the next big point of contention. 45 seconds on that. RTM are the ones who are here first. They got the Scuttle Crab, so they're going to always have a little bit of unremovable vision there. Oh, and Dream, oh my god. A lot of confidence there.
Yeah, that's
Just to walk up into a Morgana like that. Hmm.
true. He do be having a lot of confidence, though.
Yeah, he's a confident kind of guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as we...
Mint.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that Milton has gotten complete and total control around this Baron. Other than that Scuttlecrab vision, of course, meaning that RTM gonna have to try and push through here blindly and sort of get in and just try and scoop out a little bit of their own vision. But the whole time, Peaklay's just sort of split pushing. Oh, looking for the recall though, so probably gonna look to teleport in.
Yeah. Pikle gonna teleport into the mid wave, which might signal the engagement from Mint.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see Peakley continue to pressure that bottom turret and pull someone down there. Try to get the advantage. Oh!
Ultra almost sniped over the wall, but has the Zanya's Hourglass to keep himself safe. And again, another pick attempt kind of thwarted. Look at all of the defensive... Well, might not get to talk about it at all. The defensive options available right now to Mint. They have 2 Zanyas. They have 3 Guardian Angels. Yeah, I can count. Cool. It's
You nailed
really,
it.
really impossible to burst somebody out unless you have already burst them out once. So Karthik, vulnerable right now, right? Ultra vulnerable. No one else is to that upfront burst from Poro Flambe, and that just feels like really good itemization by Mint.
Definitely, especially since Poro Flambe has been hitting some really nice light bindings, just doing anything to slow down the pressure of that Picle. Oh, has
Oh,
the angle.
yeah, Dream is just dead immediately. Karthik into the backline trying to find anything that he can, and Mint is just overrunning the fight. Jalix is legendary. Poor Flambe has nothing he can do but watch the rest of his team die. Picle finishes him off. Scramble's trying to split push on the other side of the map, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter as Mint rampage through the fight.
Yeah, and a really nice trap there set by the side of Mint. Picle was just chilling in the bush and waiting for Dream to walk a little bit too far forward and immediately just gets jumped on and blown up. And that's so much of the damage here for ROTM out of the fight instantly. Mint doesn't look like they're going to be able to go for the end here, deciding instead to go a little bit more reserved here. I mean, or they just want turrets?
Yeah,
Just a bit of split decision making here.
yeah, Picle and Beanie just chilling in the base while Ultro and Karthik are doing the Baron, as you do. And now they grab Jalix as well. Should eventually die. There it goes.
Yeah, Baron going down in favor of Mint. So they got the inhibitor, they got one of the Nexus turrets, but also that Baron buff is going to be pretty massive. Their 1-3-1 is very potent, especially since we've seen Picle in the side lane just has had complete and total control despite a really rough early game in that lane. Just, you know, hit the 2 items, and it's been so difficult for Set to actually be able to contest him since. And now bit of a reset here, bit of neutral as both teams wait for Mint to start pressuring up with their Baron. Poro Flambe would be doing a ton of damage, but this Morgana has just been very good at keeping a lot of the members of Mint alive here and making sure that they don't take too much poke from this Lux.
Yeah, and like I said, the itemization really just benefiting Mint right now. It's really hard to find a pick on anybody when they have, you know, the ability to go invulnerable for a couple of seconds or die twice or, you know, things like
Yeah.
of that nature. Gid trying to tour his own jungle, but instead going to find a bunch of people from Mint in there. They're going to start the initiation on to Gid himself. The Karthik flying into the backline looking for the play will finish off Gid, and they'll take down Matsuro in the process. Poro and Dream trying their best on the backside, but it just doesn't matter. Scramble's even caught kind of on the flank, and everything falling apart for ROTM as Picle dives into the base. 33 to 12 looks like it's going to be the final kill count, and yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. So Mint gonna take game number 1, and you know still need 2 more in this best of 5. But we'll take a short break. We'll be right back with game number 2. Also, as a note to the chat, we can appreciate some copy pasta, some spams, but don't be over spam in the chat. I will start timing people out. Thank you. If you only have 1 copy pasta to contribute to the chat, maybe consider saying something original.
Yeah. Gonna do them like that. They're just Twitch chatters, right?
True.
You expect them to have. Oh wait, shit.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, by the way, final. I'll show the final scoreboard because I didn't want to make sure we missed any minions. But client, there it is. So we've got 244 plus 230 is 474, and we got 271 plus 212. Oh my god, I need a fucking calculator.
Alright, I closed it out. Otherwise, I would help out.
271 plus. Did I say 212? 483 compared to 474. So that's Poor Flambe and Scrambles winning by about 10 CS.
Pretty close.
Looks like they don't have a lobby made for game 2 yet, so we're just chilling, I guess.
Pog? Alright, to take a minute to submit my deck codes for a tournament tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna eat some food.
Yo, Twitch is fucking me. Where's my Twitch at? It says that my subscription ended today. But it says my Prime subscription will be available on October the 13th, which is today, but it's not letting me Prime sub. What the fuck? Lane, fix your fucking site. I want a Prime sub. Okay, refreshed, and my Prime sub is still not available. And we don't even have Madge enabled in this chat. Oh my god. It's a travesty.
All right. Good news. I finished my dinner. Bad news. I have to go to the bathroom. I haven't. But we're in a draft, so that's more important.
Well, if you need to go to the bathroom, I'll hold down the fort.
No, we doing the draft. We
Just
are
swap
drafting.
the scene. I'll hold down the fort.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
All right. I swapped the scene.
Okay. Have a good time. All right, guys. Welcome back to game number 2 here. We're getting into the draft. We lost Marriage Thematic, but that's okay, guys. Right? We'll do all right without him. As we get in here, did end up swapping sides between the two teams, so it'll be interesting to see how that ends up changing up the bans. So far, it looks like a Hecarim ban instead of a Mumu out of Mint here probably means that they're looking to first pick a Mumu, so RTM might be forced into banning that this time around, which could mean that Mordekaiser or Lulu, which were banned the last time, could be left up and a missed ban? Oh, maybe the ban is bugged? Okay, well it looks like the draft here is bugged, so they're going to remake it, so a bit of a false start there, I guess. Sorry, I got your guys' hopes up. Alright. They have a new one opened up, but you guys aren't going to be able to see it, unfortunately, because I cannot change it. But I'll narrate it for you guys. I'll let you guys know what's going on, okay? It'll be great. They haven't started yet though, so we have a little bit of time. They're just memeing about caps right now in chat, so a little bit of time it seems. All right, and the draft is starting up. So starting off, it is a Malzahar ban out of Mint, so same as we had seen previously, followed by an Irelia ban out of Rodham. Then assumedly this would be a Hecarim ban. Okay, now the ban that was missed. We'll see what they decide to go with here. Again, a Mumu is left up this time around, and potentially a forced ban out of Rodham, but Rodham actually going with the set ban. Means that Scrambles won't be able to run that back this time around. And then a Teemo ban out of Mint, assumedly another burnt ban that they're not allowed to use. Or they're just really worried about Teemo. And then Lulu going to be the ban from Rodham. Means that Mordekaiser and a Mumu are left up, and a Mumu instantly first picked here by Mint. So,
Wait,
pretty strong support selected already for the side of Mint.
How? What?
It's right there. It was bugged or something, so they had to change. Alright, so Rodham, with their first two selections, deciding to take away the Nocturne.
Wait, what's bugged?
Just saying that the original draft was bugged, so they swapped, so I sent you the next draft.
Oh, okay. I'm very confused. Sorry. Thank you.
No, you're fine. Nocturne and Shen are going to be the lock-ins here for Rodham, so taking away the global playmaking potential that Mint had the last time around, but this does mean that Misfortune has been let through the Misfortune of Mumu bottom lane. We've seen it wreak havoc, and Mint has secured it, meaning that RTM a bit of an upward battle here, and the Xin Xiao being selected first means that we don't have to worry about any sort of bugs or anything. Pog. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back. I was in a daydream listening to the Aikido podcast. Um, number one, don't give Lipo Lane any more badges. Thank you. I had to get that out there. Just have
You nailed it.
built up.
I
Soraka?
want to point out right now, Rodham doing a great job with their, team identity, right? They're only selecting champions that have globals, and I think that that's really good. I think that synergy between a team like this can be really strong. So I'm thinking we could grab Galio and Ezreal. How's that sound?
Galio's only like semi-global. I guess it was Nocturne, so we've already broken the
Yeah.
full global.
Yeah.
Maybe
We're doing our
Gangplank
best.
would fit a little better, but
Ooh, Gangplank would be sick, but then they're full AD. Oh, they're banning
they
Galio.
banned Galio.
Guys, you're supposed to pick that.
All
Okay, they could play AP Ezreal and then Ashe.
True.
Oh, see the Jinx ban. Mint knows. Mint knows. They're getting rid of the global. But yeah, no, the Soraka is a bit of a head scratcher. I don't think it synergizes particularly well with Shen and Nocturne. I don't think it synergizes particularly well or is good against Misfortune and Amumu. And I mean, that is synergy right there. The globals have been called out.
Oh, but Mord breaks the globals. He takes them to a different plane of existence.
Wait, that's kind of 5-head. Why is that okay?
Can't
Okay,
alter
so we're
everyone
looking
in
for
Sorry.
a mid laner? Oh, no, you're fine. Oh, Yone.
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 Yanni.
Laurel? So is this Karthus AD or Karthus mid, do you think?
It's 100% Karthus for Dream Unforgiven, which is to say probably AD.
That Kayn.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Kale?
That's the same champion as Kayn. Okay.
Is that Kale mid?
Yeah, well, I guess not necessarily. It is Kale
Could
for
be
Poro
Nocturne
Flambe,
mid.
and it is Karthus for Dream. 100%. Whether I know that those champions are going to their normal roles,
Is that 100%? Are we certain it's not like Karthus jungle, Nocturne mid, Kale top, and then just like Soraka Shen bottom lane?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This,
What a mess of a draft. I kind of love it, but I also
am disappointed.
It's a mess. You're disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Yeah, because they selected a champion that doesn't have a global. It just feels like a mistake. TF was open. Ezreal, Tristana, not Tristana, Ashe, Caitlyn.
Is Caitlyn really I guess. Auction?
I mean, I guess. If Caitlyn is, then yeah.
Yeah, if you're counting
Anyway,
Caitlyn, then I get my auction.
I feel like they were going for, like a role-play team comp, and then they just kind of whiffed on it at the end, So, do we even get the meme points at this point? I don't know. Their team comp kind of doesn't do anything, does it?
It does.
Is that a hot take?
It does globals, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, so, like, I agree with you. But, okay, so Nocturne, Shen, Soraka, that trio doesn't deal, like, any damage unless Nocturne gets Giga Fed for some reason. Or Shen gets Giga Fed. So it's unlikely. You're not really relying on them for damage. So it's just like Karthus and Kale. So you aren't allowed to play the game until 30 minutes? At which point, like, they definitely have their work cut out for them in terms of stopping the potential snowball that is Misfortune, Amumu, Xin Shao, Yone, even Mordekaiser, can really take over a game in mid game. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's going to be a difficult fight here for RTM.
Yeah, on top of that, they don't really have AD in a traditional sense. I mean, maybe Gid's going Omega one shot. I killed my grandmother 360 no scope, nocturne, but
Jesus, you killed your grand.
I don't know. One of those clickbait videos, right?
My wife disowned me after this one. Yeah, I
You
feel
won't believe what happens when he presses R.
I mean, Kale could go AD, right?
No.
Yeah, is that right?
If I see you build AD Kale in my ARAM game, I'm reporting you.
And not like this. But
And
like
that's in my
Kraken
ARAM.
Slayer and Rageblade and Wit's End, how good would it be? Wit's End is so good against Mordekaiser, right?
You're not against Mordekaiser. Oh, it's
Who do you think you're
Soraka. It's
against?
Soraka top.
Wait, is it?
It's Soraka top. Matsura's playing Shen. That makes more sense from a thematic perspective for me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that doesn't make more sense
It
from
makes
like a team comp perspective.
I'm not worried about the team comp perspective. I was more worried about Matsuro 5 in my game playing Soraka. Matsuro,
Yeah.
the square root of 25, playing an enchanter support not named Karma. Feels a little grief, but
I would say that would be pretty in line with their draft in total, though. A little
Jesus
grief goes a
Christ.
long way.
Wait, Piccolo spelled X-Craze's name? That's so cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd always told my wife I was gonna have her Ashe and then Lee Sin for her every game.
Because she's blind.
Yeah, that's why. That's what the character Ashe has to do with that, for sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, because her name's Ash, and then Lee Sin because she's blind.
Yeah. You found us out.
No, I think that's cute. I think that's cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You just have to hover a Mumu because you're always gonna be fucking. No, that's really.
alone. Touche.
All right. We do need like a. We need like a prediction for this game.
Yeah, do we? You can find that out on your own, buddy. I think. Damn. It's kind of fucked up. Not gonna lie.
I'm sorry. It had to be done.
I don't think you are. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, okay. Okay. What about
I've already got it. You don't need to bother. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
good. No, we know I'm superfluous to this anyway. What's the bet?
More assists in game 2. Soraka or Shen?
Soraka, the chick that presses R and gets 12 assists, or Shen?
Shen, the actual support who will be fighting people. Yeah.
The question is, do you think Scrambles is gonna be able to have the map awareness to be able to press R and pick up assists from across the map? I think so.
You think so? Alright.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you not think so?
I think that it's worth considering.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
See,
Shen
this
also
time-
hits a shield and can get assists for free,
well, I agree with you. I agree with you. My worry, though, is that like Soraka just accidentally gets 20 assists, whereas Shen I feel like has to be more deliberate in it. but it is Matsuro 5 who has been known for roaming a lot and really enabling his team to get a lot of plays. You know, a lot of ROTM's leads are off the back of Matsuro roams or Matsuro plays. So, you know, he's very likely to be involved with quite a few of the fights that break out.
Why am I
Why are
looking
you?
at Soraka top Shen support? I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
You may not like it, but this is what peak League of
Yeah,
Legends
this
looks
is
like.
ideal team comp drafting right now. We gotta go big brain.
What Cardinals really means here is why is he not looking at a mid laner with a global ultimate? That's the real worry, right?
Yeah. So real talk, can Soraka survive against Mordekaiser?
Probably. I don't know. I mean,
Don't
so
you just
she
get-
gets move speed from hitting her Q, right? So she should be
Yeah.
able to dodge out on his claw every time. I think if you're mechanically really clean, you could probably play the range and make it so Mordekaiser literally never touches you with Soraka. Until he presses R on you, and then you're kind of stuck. With
Yeah,
him.
I don't know how you survive Cyber Brazil as Soraka, especially if you have to blow Wish. Like,
I think he
that's your
probably
kit. I
can't
don't know.
kill you, because like you could still kite him around, but he locks you down long enough that if there's anyone else there, I think you're very dead.
If anybody didn't hear, there's a prediction. Like, throw some points in there.
See, I was waiting to commit points until I saw Big Money Bags Lane throw his weight around.
Nah, I guess we'll see how this all works out. You've got the
Okay, fine, Lane. I'll commit my points. All right, I will go. I think Shen, it's Matsuro 5. That's the number of assists he's gonna get is 5, and that's gonna be enough.
damn. All right.
I
No
don't.
faith in the boys.
That's one of those where you start out, the sentence not going where it's gonna end up, and then it just ends up flaming people. I didn't intend for that.
That's why they're turning off all chat.
Yeah.
Because you start sentences.
Why are people upset about that? Like, that's objectively a good thing. Like, all chat is a cesspool that never helped out anyone ever. Why do
Uh,
we care that it's going away?
so I have to say, at least like in ARAMs, like if I have randoms on my team, I am 100% having more positive interactions with the enemy team than I am with my own team in ARAMs.
Okay, then mute them.
Well,
I don't
that's
think
not
that
the
there's
issue.
any good that can come from all chat. There's good that can
No?
come from team chat.
Okay.
What's the good that comes from all chat?
I don't know. I have like literally met a couple of my friends through all chat in fucking ARAMs. So, you know.
I don't know. I just feel like, over the past like 10 years of League of Legends, nobody we've known forever that like if you want to win games, then all chat should be off because you're not really getting competitive advantages from it, right?
I mean,
Unless you're just like trying to tilt your opponent, in which case you're an asshole and you should probably have all chat off.
yeah. I mean, team chat is also bad. I think turning off chat is just ideal to play this game, which is unfortunate. But, you know.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I mean, you can't really turn off like team chat, I don't think. Just because some people do use it for positive interactions where they try and coordinate things. And in a competitive game, I think it would be folly to get rid of that. But I
Wildcard
don't
doesn't
know.
have team chat, and they've gotten this far. So, oh shit.
Hog? LOR doesn't have all chat, so.
True. You can just spam emotes at people and then find them on your friends list and message
Which
them
you
and
could
ask them about
still.
their cards.
True, you could still do that in League. You spam emotes and, you can message your opponent if they're on your friends list.
True.
Either way, though, we are getting
It makes no
into
sense. Okay.
game number 2.
No, we're gonna keep talking about this because
Okay,
we know these
talk to me about
teams. We have dealt with them for a game
it.
now,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think we're gonna see anything immediately. So,
Okay.
voice chat in League? No, never, not once. Did you ever play
I mean,
Overwatch? Have you ever played Valorant? It's miserable. Don't do it.
and I have played Valorant. I
And it's
think that like
miserable.
it's not like that bad.
I don't know. I have been flamed 100% of the games that I have played in Valorant, which
Yeah, but
isn't
that's
that
just
many,
like
but like
That's just like League, though, right?
Right, but I don't want that experience. I don't know.
Then
I
how
don't
can
think
you be for? How can you be for
I'm
all
not
chat?
for all chat. I just think it's weird that it's a feature of the game that they're removing when it is an option to turn it off already. But anyway, there's level 2s happening in bottom lane. Matsuro getting chunked a little bit low, and the extra lay waste gonna land onto Jalix and at least even up that trade a little bit for Dream and Matsuro. Still definitely favoring Jalix and Ultro, and they have the extra offensive summoner. Offensive in terms of like combat, I guess, is more what I'm referring to. So
I think it's offensive that they brought that summoner. I agree. How dare they?
yeah,
Oh,
Scramble's already in a little bit of trouble up in the top lane, has to flash away, but Karthik hits the W, and that is going to be all that he wants out of that. Gets the flash out of
oh,
Scrambles, and now
Nocturne's coming.
can't really push up, but in comes Gid, gets the interrupt on Karthik's back, but I don't think that... does he win this? Do they win this 2v2? Karthik dashing out, but Gid is on top of him. The flash forward for first blood. Pikle getting low as well. Gid not quite able to do it, but the last banana from Scrambles does finish it off, and it's 2-0 for Return to the Middle Sticks.
And that initial gank from Karthik was so good, it pushed Scrambles back. He wasn't going to be allowed to re-enter that lane ever, but for some reason he walks straight into Gid, doesn't even auto-attack him, just kind of, takes a ton of damage for free and then ends up flashing away. And, because of that, Gid's able to pick up the kill, able to get a kill for Scrambles as well. And a top lane that should be completely doomed for Shiraka at this point is suddenly playable off of, it's not the best play in the world. Oh?
Yeah, Matsuro taking a lot of damage there. Ultro, oh, a good dodge on the second bandage toss. He doesn't have any mana left as he's cried it all out of himself. I don't really understand how that works, but,
He just gets tuckered out.
Yeah, but that would imply that it's like magical tears coming out of him. So what happens when you run out of mana? Can he just not be sad anymore?
Well, he's still sad, but have you ever been like so sad or cried for so long, but you're just like too exhausted to like continue crying? It doesn't mean that you're not sad anymore. You're just not, able to express it physically.
I've never once cried. I'm a man,
Oh,
and
okay.
I
Well,
identify
never
that as
mind
part of
then.
my masculinity.
Yeah, no, okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. Anyway, Scrambles is down like 18 CS already. Poor guy.
Yeah, but you don't need CS as Soraka.
Do you think that it was his idea to pick Soraka, or do you think the team picked Soraka for him?
So I 100% know that it's his idea to play Soraka.
Okay. Then I don't feel bad for him then.
It's why when I said it's Soraka top, I was so convinced of it. If I'm being
Uh-huh.
honest, I have the
Okay.
insider knowledge.
Okay.
Why he wanted to play Soraka so badly, I have no idea. Why he took Guardian so that he doesn't have a keystone in lane, no idea. But like,
You think he should have taken Grasp?
I think that literally any other keystone is more useful in lane to him than Guardian is when he's in a solo lane and top lane. Later on, I guess it's pretty useful. They have double Guardian, and Guardian's actually just kind of low-key broken. Like, it's a
True.
huge shield. Really low
Okay.
cooldown. Anyway, solo kill attempt here from Beanie as he ults in. Poor Flambe hits level 6 and at least stands his ground. Does have to use a barrier. Now he's a champion. Not a good champion, but a champion as he's got his ranged auto attacks. And Gid walking in does get the fear, but Beanie able to dash out. And yeah, now they're going to get the shove in, and I assume try to get Poro at least a safe recall here without his turret being threatened.
Definitely need to just get that shoved in and give an option to recall without just dying. But in the meantime, Dream Unforgiven has been left alone against the menace that is a Mumu.
Scrambles gets pulled into Cyber Brazil, and already a lot of damage coming down onto him. Karthik waiting outside, the wish used as soon as he comes back out just to try to get anything back, and just not able to turn that one in as he's experiencing a 2v1 lane up here in the top lane.
Yeah, Mordekaiser turns out pretty good at locking down Soraka and waiting for the jungler to end up showing up. Kind of like we had said, though. Mordekaiser wasn't able to 1v1 actually kill Scrambles during the duration of the ultimate. Part of that was the proximity to the turret, but in general, unless Mordekaiser gets really far ahead, I feel like
Oh.
that should be the case most of the time.
So
Um,
Scrambles TP's back to top lane, and now if he dies, it's very detrimental. So he's got to get this
True.
wave shoved in. There's even a ward behind him. If they really wanted to shut down this Soraka, Beanie could teleport into top lane as soon as Peak Lane gets up there. And I don't think there's anything Scrambles can do about it. Anyway, in the bottom lane, Ultra and Jalix looking for Dream, trying to get some damage down. Matsuro gets engaged on, and Ultra just finishes him off. That was a lot of damage coming out of Karthik and Ultra. And Mitt now has tied up the kill count, 2-2.
Yeah, and looking at that play top, ooh, nice trade back there by Poro Flambe.
What was all that
Able to,
healing? Was that just his W?
uh, for Flambe,
Yeah, that was kind of
I think he
insane.
leveled.
Oh, okay. Never mind. That makes
Um,
more sense than.
But yeah, I was gonna say that teleport could make sense if Scrambles' lane was in a really bad position, but looking up there halfway through, we saw that if he had just like left that wave at some point, it would have slow pushed into him. He ends up getting this crashed anyway. Peaklate looks like didn't want to freeze it there, but if he wanted to, he could have just frozen that lane forever, and Scrambles is not allowed to play the game.
All right,
But
Gid has Paranoia available. This is a pretty important moment in terms of game state, as this is a couple of low members of Mint right now. Is Gid going to go for it? They've got Jalix trailing a little bit behind, but just not going to pull the trigger on it. Had Metsuro hanging around. You have the Karthus ultimate as well, but I think, need to see a big usage of Requiem and Paranoia. Those sound really good together. That's like it's like a metal album.
yeah,
Requiem and
are you saying
Paranoia.
that Nocturne should be the next member of Pentakill?
Um, I don't know how you could incorporate like a musical instrument into his kit at all, and I don't think he'd be a very good singer, so probably
You
not.
know, he has like the blades on his arms. I think those could be xylophones.
See, I kind of want an aside. If you had to make the champion Seraphine, I think it'd be really cool to see kind of like the reverse, the like dark fantasy where she's the pentakill singer. I think that'd be kind of neat.
Okay.
But
What you're
um,
saying is you want Seraphine in Pentakill.
I think
It's
that'd be
not
neat.
enough that she's in KDA. You want her to also be in Pentakill.
Yeah, put her in True. You made a musical champion. Put Sona in there. Put Sona in KDA. Put Sona like throw him in there. Whatever. I don't care.
Do you feel like Sona would? Seraphine's kind of like all over Sona's shtick, so it's
True.
like I don't know how well they would work together.
Um,
Sona would have no complaints, right?
true.
But she can't speak. Never mind.
No, I'm with you. I follow. It's a little mean, but like I follow the logic.
Do you think so? Okay. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
should you really pick on someone for their disability? No, probably
I'm
not.
not like trying to pick on her.
Anyway,
Is it
Matsuro's
disability?
back in mid lane looking for Beanie, gets the taunt immediately. Do they actually have the damage to ever kill this Yone? I don't think so. And they're going to get the teleport in from Peakley as well. Nice
Oh,
flash away from Matsuro. In comes the Paranoia, looking for the re-engages. Dream has popped down his teleport to try to rejoin. Matsuro goes in for the taunt, but
oh
gets
no.
immediately devastated.
Oh
The bullet time
no.
just ripping through. And it's 3 kills for Mint on a fight that ROTM picked.
ROTM used all of their globals there, trying to make the play. The wish came through to try and heal them up, but a little bit of an overcommitment, and Peaklay's right there with the teleport. They get pulled in by the claw and straight into the bullet time, and just no chance at all. And ROTM try to force the mid-game fight. We had spoken about how they're a scaling team that really doesn't want to be fighting in the mid-game, but they try and get a little bit of an advantage, and it just goes so far south for them.
Yeah, not feeling confident enough to do the Rift Herald just yet, it looks like. So I'm going to pull off of that objective. But 2,500 gold lead right now, 3 kills, 1 dragon. They're feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, definitely in a pretty strong position. RTM is always going to have the scaling option, right? Oh, Jalex smartly deciding to not walk too far forward there. Matsuro 5 did end up getting the ultimate stand beside me. Um,
Yeah. Um,
Big far help.
Big far help.
Oh,
Stand united even.
Okay.
Matsuro looking for the taunt, but he's not going to be able to find it onto Jalix, and Altro hits the bandage toss back in. Gid hanging around the heal from Jalix. He's got the flash as well to try to get away, and immediately the teleport channeled by Beanie as well, trying to rejoin the rest of his squad. Pops down the soul just to try to get on top of anybody that he can, and they will take down Dream. Requiem just going to tickle a little bit, I
Ooh.
imagine, at this point. Nothing permanently damaging, and Mint again picking up 2 kills in the bottom lane.
Yeah, just RTM. It feels like at this point in the game, their champions aren't able to fight properly. You know, trying to take the fight into a Mumu and Misfortune was just disaster. These are very strong early game champions right now, and obviously Mint was able to flex a little bit with them there and just pick those up. And you know, it's just another fight going heavily against this team comp from RTM. Oh,
Yeah. Poro in a little bit of trouble. He's got his ultimate available. Oh, can't even pop it. Beanie just takes him down. The auto attacks there from the Yone.
yeah, able to just get so much damage off the reapplication of the damage from the E, able to just pop Poro Flambe, and the solo kill picked up for free there. Now it looks like Mint is going to be starting up that dragon. Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
going to be
Um,
starting that up, and probably not going to be able to contest it for our team. They don't have enough members on this side of the map to actually be able to have a good shot at it.
yeah. So 2-0 in the dragon count. 8-2 on the kills. It's a big Mint lead. Um, Yeah, I guess it just does come down to the scaling for ROTM to try to get back in it, and this really isn't going to help as Gid gets spotted out doing the Rift Herald. Even gets hit by the Zenzao W, so Karthik could jump onto him. The Yone ult just to get a little bit of distance. He pops the Paranoia just for a little bit of safety. They have the turn with the Shen and the Kale
Oh,
ult potentially. Looking for it. The big taunt comes back through, but Gid is the first one to fall, and there's just too many health bars right now for Mint. They can basically do whatever they want on the map. Jalix has his Yumu's finished up. Oh boy, that's a lot of damage as he gets the solo kill onto Dream. Taunt gonna land onto Beanie, but he's got the snapback on the E, and it's difficult. At what point do you feel like ROTM could contest some of this push in from Mint?
so hard to say just because at this point they've been trying to contest a lot of fights that they just aren't able to take at this point in the game. That you know that point at which they're actually able to start fighting just gets pushed further and further back the further behind they get, right? um you know, you have to assume your Kale has to be at least level 11, at least level 11. Also, you know, at least 2 items, um maybe, and then maybe like Karthus with 2 items, so we're talking in 15 minutes is when they're allowed to start fighting. It's really hard to say. It's hard to see what a winning team fight looks like for them at this point, just because even when they had so many defensive options to try and save the Nocturne there, they had the Stand United, they had uh the Kale ultimate, they had the Wish as well from Soraka. It just wasn't enough to actually do anything, and I don't know. So it's a difficult one here for ROTM.
Is it still Divine Intervention for Kale? I think that's right.
It definitely used to be Divine Intervention. Yeah, no, it's Divine Judgment. Ooh,
Judgment. Ooh.
which
She did.
is it's pretty metal.
Yeah, she did get a little judgy with her rework, if we're being honest.
Think so?
Yeah, Jalix just chasing down Dream. This is about the freest lane you could imagine for Misfortune right now, actually.
Yeah, no. Every time that Dream walks up, he just eats a Make It Rain into a double up and just kind of gets ran down there. Not ideal.
Yeah, he's keeping up all right in the CS, which is actually pretty admirable, uh, given what's happened so far this game. And RTM look like they're maybe going to set up for a play. Gid hanging around on the bottom side of the map. Karthik was just hanging around, but now headed back to base, it looks like. This might be really fortuitous timing for ROTM as, you know, they're kind of waiting for Jalix and Ultra to push, and they're just not pushing very fast. It's a good freeze that they've got going.
Yeah, they have no reason to actually push out here because they're denying Dream so much. Oh?
There it is, and the Paranoia coming back in. they're on top of Jalix, but just no damage coming through. And the turn on the Curse of the Sad Mummy is huge. Jalix ripping through with the bullet time, and that's why that combo is so notorious right there. The dive not going to pay off at all for RTM, and it's 3 kills for Mint, and they're running the map.
Definitely. Just no lockdown there for the side of ROTM. No burst able to come out. And it means that when Gid even finally ends up showing up with the paranoia, just nobody's able to actually end up helping them out. And it's just a disaster here for ROTM. Everything going the way of Mint. Mint able to pick up the second turret of the game here with that Rift Herald. Walking in, also taking down these jungle camps as well. Doing a really good job of extending their lead. Ooh. And Beanie just taking the favorable trade into Poro Flambe. Even uses the ultimate just to trade health bars a little bit, but Jalex is here now.
Yeah, Poro uses Divine Judgment. Jalix, it gets taken down. It is the shutdown going to Gid, but probably too little too late. A little
Yeah,
over aggression there from Mint, but
a little
not going to
a
cost them
little
too much here.
ambitious there. I think a little optimistic of Jalex to think that they could just run up and dive the Kale who did have ultimate, and RTM thankfully had enough people around to be able to punish that, but still it's hard to say that that would be enough to actually get them back into this game, right?
Yeah. Well, Dragon spawning here in 2 seconds. Doesn't look like either side particularly interested in it at the time. The
Does
time being.
wind becomes lightning give vision? Assumedly it does,
Yeah, it
right?
does. Yeah.
Can you W dragon over pit and then E onto it now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay.
Karthik is looking for the Karthus in the bottom lane, but instead gets spotted out by Matsuro and forces some defensive gameplay here from Return to the Middle Sticks. They don't have a turret, which means that they're going to have to keep retreating, and that'll open up the Dragon Pit for mid.
Yeah, and RTM doesn't have enough members here. They have Sirach on the other side of the map who has the teleport, but that's another sort of issue here is that Soraka, oh, as we see Gid getting caught
Oh
out
no.
here.
Yeah, big taunt from Matsuro trying to buy a little bit of time. Karthus, excuse me, Nocturne into the back line. It just doesn't matter though. Mint standing strong, standing their ground, and it's a double kill. Oh, the flash over the wall. That was really cheeky by Beanie, and they do pick up another kill on the back of that. Ultra on a rampage on the Amumu support. It's 17-3, a 2-touchdown lead for Mint Carmel.
Yeah, and oh, Scrambles
Oh
showing
no,
up to the fight
scrambles.
late.
They're even going to get the extra point. Sad.
Yeah.
The ace for Mint Carmel as they are walking through these turrets in mid lane, and it doesn't feel like RTM can contest or even dream of contesting them at this point.
And dream of contesting them? That's
True.
funny.
I
That's funny.
didn't intend that, but for sure. Yeah, I tend to agree with chat. I think I might just surrender for the mental, but we'll see. Maybe they can find the big hero play to turn this game around. Um, Bigger leads have been thrown before. Not to say that
Yeah,
that'll happen this
definitely.
game. Mint has looked very in control when they've gotten a lead in both games so far this series, and have looked thus far like the better team. Well, um, what else can we talk about? There's a bunch of items. There's 2 items, in fact, on the Mordekaiser, the Zinzao, and the MF, which is pretty huge item spikes compared to the 1 plus usually a component for RTM. Gid gets caught in the top lane trying to collect some of this farm. He gets pulled into Cyber Brazil, and no one comes out of Cyber Brazil, unfortunately. Piclay picks up his 3rd kill of the game, and now a Baron? Why not?
Yeah, they should be able to pick that one up pretty for free here. Piclay wanted to make sure that no one was around to steal his kill. He wanted to take down the Nocturne himself and able to pick that one up. Soraka's here,
Oh,
maybe a cheeky Star Call can steal the Baron.
maybe. Um,
Um, maybe a cheeky Kale Q can steal Baron.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe Shen.
No.
Okay.
Beanie is in now playing linebacker. Baron's secured by Mint, and Are they even going to look for the fight right now? They don't need to. They could definitely just go back to base and spend, and in fact, that looks like the play for Mint. So,
Yeah, they're kind of chilling.
they're
Kind
chilling.
of.
It's a 12,000 gold lead. It'll be a 2-0 series advantage for Mint, I imagine, here shortly. Um, what do you want to see ROTM do for Game 3, then? How do you try to claw out of this big pit that you're in?
Well, I think that the issues with this team composition are pretty apparent here. There's a distinct lack of any sort of proactive plays that you can make really at any point in the game. So I'd like to see something, that with a little bit more proactivity, a little bit more agency maybe in the early to mid games, so that they have something to play around. If it's okay to draft Karthus or it's okay to draft Kale, just not pure scaling all the way across the board. And that was a lot of damage, but a good amount of healing there, saving Matsuro from falling there.
Yeah. In comes the siege though from Mint, as Beanie's doing a lot of damage on the Yone, as it turns out.
Yeah,
Having
has
Infinity Edge plus
the
the
mythic,
bow. Yeah,
the shield bow.
how does that work exactly?
How does a shield bow work?
Yeah, it seems like that'd be pretty easy to break.
So looking at it, I think that it's a normal bow, but there's a big shield on the front of it, and then assumedly like a hole in the middle that you can like shoot through.
How do you
Oh,
see
it's like
to
a
aim?
crossbow. Okay, it's a crossbow with a big shield in front, and then there's like a slit down the middle, up and down, um, that you can just like see through and ostensibly shoot arrows through, or bolt as they would be from a crossbow.
Do you think that's like good weapon design?
I think it's acceptable. I mean, if you're like on the ramparts of a castle or something, I assume that it would be pretty effective.
Okay. Well, unfortunately for Yone, not on the ramparts of a castle, so.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets to use it. He do be having just like swords though, so like I don't know the mechanics of that.
Yeah, I've never quite understood, like, you buy items in the game, but they already have their own weapons, so, like, what good is buying more weapons to go with your weapons?
I would think of them as like enchantments. It's like you got essence of shield bow and you put that on your weapons. And now you can heal, and I guess you
Essence.
get a shield. I don't know.
Essence of shield bow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, in comes Mint.
Okay.
They're gonna go for the engage though, the paranoia into the backline, but immediately a lot of defensive ults used. The Divine Judgment doing a little bit plus the Wish, but Gid just cannot chunk through the health bars in enough time. Poor Flambe trying to fight on the front side, but the Kale just does not do damage yet. And Beanie on a rampage as they roll through the base. They get 2 kills or 3 kills out of that one. It's just Scrambles and Dream left to try to defend for ROTM on the doorstep. 22-3 the kill count right now, and Nexus turrets under fire.
They have Karthus ult available.
Yep.
Zhonya's as well. Okay, no
Okay,
Zhonya's.
no Zhonya's,
But
but in
Karthus
comes the
ult.
Requiem.
Okay.
Shut down to Soraka. All right. Nexus
Soraka, kind of smurfing.
No. Well,
Okay, Gid's up. Matsuro 5 is up too. Winnable?
the Nexus
Okay,
is
well.
pretty dead here for game number 2.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
There was the
you
hype.
know,
It's 2-0 for Mint Carmel. They're on match point. They're looking very strong and looking to close out the series in the next game. Our team going to have to dig deep and go for the reverse sweep.
true.
True.
I agree with that. That is a fair assessment.
just wanted to give a small update to the stream. We're currently in a pause waiting for game 3, so uh, just hang with us. We're chilling, we're vibing. There's a cool crow in the background. Check him out. Anyway, yeah, we haven't died. We're waiting on game 3, just like the rest of you are. Still no update on the status of Game 3. We're vibing though. If there's anybody
Yeah.
alive out there, I want to know what your favorite bagel flavor is.
What are the different bagel flavors?
So you can do like a normal bagel. You can do like a blueberry bagel. You can do like cinnamon raisin. People like everything bagels, which is just like a bunch of crap on it. I can't really support that, but I know a lot of people like that.
When I was
onion and chives is an option. Personal favorite is blueberry with blueberry cream cheese.
one place where where I worked on Saturdays, they used to bring in bagels, and they had like bagels with pepperonis on them. They were pretty good. They had like pepperonis and jalapenos. I don't like jalapenos, but it was honestly pretty good.
All right. Well, we've finally had a ruling confirmed. As you can also see in the chat, player ranked outside of the bounds of LAS, so Mint is going to forfeit the series, and our team moves on to the semifinals. Probably not the way that they want to, but yeah, that's the stream. So,
Oof. Okay.
yeah.
Hate to
I
see
don't
it,
really
but-
have a whole lot more to say directly about that. Tomorrow night, if you did want to catch an actual full ROTM stream, hopefully, we have Crowstorm taking on a team. Imperial Knights Blue. Oh, they're actually a pretty big org. So that'll be a fun, another quarterfinal best of 5. It's on my birthday too. You can come support me on my birthday. Watch some League of Legends actions at 6 p.m. Oh no, they've delayed it to 7 p.m. Excuse me, 7 p.m. Central Time. And
Hog?
yeah, so that said, thank you guys for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow night for that game. Do you know who had more assists in game 2? Was it Soraka or Shen?
I do not know. Let's check the VOD, okay?
Okay, we'll check the VOD on that one.
Alright, let me check. Let's see, at the end of the game. Okay. So at 23 minutes, when they're losing their mid inhibitor, both of them had 0.
Okay.
So let's just skip forward a little bit.
Did Scrambles
okay.
get one on the base defense?
Scrambles got a kill, right?
Yeah.
He gets the kill and not an assist. So Scrambles ends 2-2-0 or 2-3-0.
2-3-0?
And Matsuro is 0-6-0. So as far as assists go, they are in fact tied.
Alright, well, you get your channel points back. Congratulations, everyone.
Pog.
We're gonna go raid Legends. Go watch, looks like Sheep Herd versus Divine Ascension Obsidian. They're headed into game 3 right now. Actually, our boy Oath is casting right now, so that's really neat. So go support Oath. But yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.